Close to my house there are two supermarkets. There's a Fortinos and there's a No Frills. What I didn't know is that these two totally different grocery stores are actually owned by the same company, which is Loblaws Companies Limited, which is a division of George Weston Limited. It seems like I had a pretty different choice between the two stores, but my money ends up going to the same place. So what brings me to Fortinos over No Frills? No Frills is obviously much cheaper, and Fortinos is going to cost me a bit more money. Well, a lot more money. Well, Fortinos has a lot more Italian specialty items, and my family's Italian, and that's part of the reason why there's so many in Vaughan, because it's primarily an Italian community. While shopping at Fortinos, my mother and I noticed that there was a lot of seasonal items on the shelves. There were pumpkins, there were baked goods, there were bulk goods, there were candies in those big crates to hand out to trick-or-treaters, and there was also cake decorations and loop bag supplies. This is to keep shoppers shopping at Fortinos and not feel the need to spend their money elsewhere. As elegantly put by OPIRG, the second you enter the supermarket, you are being manipulated. A tremendous amount of research is put into every aspect of the store to ensure that you spend the most amount of money possible. Walking into Fortinos, the first sections that you're going to encounter are the meat section, the specialty cheese section, the seafood section, and the produce section. According to OPIRG, specialty items and higher price items are typically placed at the beginning of the store because consumers are more willing to spend more money in the beginning of their shopping trip. On the same note, perishable items would ideally be purchased near the end of our shopping trip, but they're placed at the beginning of our supermarket experience. This is because supermarkets want to get rid of their perishable items quickly, and they can actually mark up the prices of them because consumers tend to spend more money in the beginning of their shopping trip. Once you've gone out of the produce section, you actually stumble upon nature's treasure, which is the healthy food section. This is the section that I wanted to focus on in this video as a point of interest because my mother and I found a lot of very interesting things about this aisle. The most interesting thing about this section is that you can find basically anything you could find at other parts of the store in this section with the healthy alternative. The first question that I asked myself when coming to this aisle is what kind of requirement does a product have to have in order to be put on the shelves here? As mentioned in OPIRG's the supermarket tour, companies actually buy the spots on the shelves in order to display their product. So are these products just a result of money being put forth to put them there, or is there actually a nutritional requirement to be put here? Or rather than just a nutritional requirement, is it just a labeling issue? A lot of the products here promise to be all natural, to be GMO-free, to be gluten-free. A lot of them were also vegan products or vegetarian products. They said that there was no cholesterol or refined sugars. Some of the products even promise weight loss results. Further into the realm of one-stop shopping, there was even dog food here and cleaning detergents for your house. Then going even further, you stumble upon all the weight loss products such as protein powders and energy bars that are supposed to fuel your workout to lose that weight. But the most interesting thing about this section is that you are right beside the pharmacy and beside the wellness station. The wellness station is a machine that calculates your BMI and also tells you your blood pressure. It's not totally coincidental, in my opinion, that this machine is right beside the health food section. If I were to take a guess, I would believe that it's supposed to motivate you to go spend an extra penny on the food that's promising you weight loss and to be healthier. I also believe that once you've picked up your medications from the pharmacy, you're probably more motivated to make healthier lifestyle choices. So having the health food section right there is very convenient to pick up healthier items, quote unquote, and feel better about your health overall, whether or not you're actually making a difference. You can feel good about the extra money that you're spending because it's an investment into your own health and not just an investment into the wallets of the people that own Fortinos. What's also interesting is that many of the sections that lead to the health food section are predominantly female sections, and they tend to be essential sections as well. These sections are where you would find your shampoo, your conditioners, your creams, your feminine hygiene products, your medications, band-aids, Even things such as hair care products like elastic bands and clips and hairbrushes. The predominantly female characteristics of the aisles leading up to the health food section made me question whether or not females are more likely to buy these products, and that's why these sections are paired together. Also interesting to note, the feminine hygiene products were placed right beside the healthy junk food. Coincidence? I don't think so. As noted by OPIRG, many of the products use reds and warm tones like oranges and yellows on their labels, and these are colors that are supposed to make consumers hungry. But I also found that in the health food section, a lot of the packages contain greens and earthy tones, maybe to enhance the message that they are all natural products that are healthier for you. I decided to pick up a health food item to compare it to a normal item in the other part of the store. I looked at the kind of labeling that they use, the claims and the nutritional value, as well as the price to see if they're really so different from other products in the store. For example, looking at this bag of chips, it claims to have no trans fat, no MSG, no preservatives, to be gluten-free, to use natural oils, and to have no artificial flavors or coloring. But looking at the actual nutrition label, is it that different from another bag of chips in the store? In addition, I couldn't help but wonder if this bag of chips was placed in the health food section because it's more expensive than a normal bag of chips. Does it blend in with the other higher priced specialty items in this section compared to the cheaper chips found in the other section? I tried to find a fair comparison to the kettle cooked chips that I found in the health food section. What I found was that this bag of chips was actually more expensive than the health food section chips. These chips, as expected, didn't have any health food claims since they're in the normal section, and in terms of the dietary breakdown, it's almost identical to the other chips as well. Why is such an expensive bag of chips in this section and not in the health food section where you would expect it to be? I believe that the producer actually paid to have their product placed in this section because people are more likely to visit the normal chip section than the health food section because it's known to be typically cheaper. The consumer only sees about 1,000 products out of the 12,000 products on average in a supermarket. Therefore, the product would be more visible in this section than it would be in the health food section. Another thing that I noted was that the dairy-free products were placed in a refrigerator much before the dairy products later in the store. I believe that this is because you first encounter these products, and since you're in the beginning of your shopping trip, you may be more willing to spend a bit more money on these products rather than buying the cheaper products later in the store, especially since these products claim to have healthier properties than the cheaper alternatives. Near the end of our shopping trip, we stumbled upon the bulk section. A lot of boutiquing was demonstrated here. They had all the baking goods together, they had all the granola stuff together, and to make trail mixes, everything was together. And this is to encourage you to buy things together. We also noticed that there was organic versus non-organic labeling. So quinoa in this instance was about $1 or $2 more expensive than its non-organic alternative. But as a consumer, do you really understand what organic means? At the end of our shopping experience, I noticed that there was more examples of one-stop shopping. There was a flower section, there were areas where you can buy fresh made food, and there was also a bank in the store. In order to walk out of Fortinos, you have to walk past the floral section and past all the fresh food being made, which may encourage impulse buys before you leave the store. After reading the supermarket tour by OPIRG, I was overwhelmed with the evidence that I actually saw within the store that related to the readings in the textbook. Although I thought a lot of the setup of the store was for my convenience as a consumer, it's more so that I spend the most amount of money in the least amount of time while I'm at the store. Supermarkets know that 60% of all buying decisions are made after the consumer has entered the supermarket. This means that they take advantage of product placement, the construction of the store, and also the music playing overhead in order to convince the consumer to buy their products. Another manipulation ploy that Fortinos uses is their points incentive card. The more groceries that you buy here, the more points that you'll get and the more money that you'll save shopping here again. This is why often I'll leave the supermarket with 20 items that I didn't think that I needed going into the store initially. In the future, I'll be more aware of product placement, how it influences my buying decisions, and hopefully be able to save some money in the process.